Hey guys, so we are going to learn about what a function is and what a function is not. So the left-hand side of that table is functions and the right-hand side is not functions. So let's look at the table first. So in the table on the function side, the reason that's a function is because when you look at all of the x values, there are no repeats. If you look on the where it's not a function, that is not a function because these 9s repeat right there. So that makes that not a function. So write yourself a note. Up here, the reason this is a function is because there's no repeat x's. All right, so that's how you can tell when looking at a table. Now, if we were going to look down here on these little bubble things, so these are a different way of writing ordered pairs. Like 4, 0 is the first ordered pair, then 6, 7, then 2, -8, and 1, -3. So it's the same concept. It doesn't have any repeat x's. Over here, the reason why this one on the right-hand side is not a function is because this arrow right here, it's going to 2 different y's, and so you can't have it be a function. So when we're looking at graphs, you have to do the vertical line test. And so the vertical line test is whenever you drag a vertical line across the graph, it cannot touch it twice. So like I can draw 1,000,001 vertical lines in here and it won't touch that graph more than once. It gets really close in the middle, but it won't. Same with this one. Same with this one. Now on the right hand side, all I have to do is draw one vertical line that touches twice, and that proves it is not a function. So right there, it hits it twice. Same with here. Hits it twice. Same with here. It hits it twice. So those are not functions because it hits twice. Now whenever you are talking about these equations right here on both sides, what you would do is just put them into y equals, and you would do the vertical line test. So anytime there's a graph or an equation, you do the vertical line test. All right, and if you would graph the ones on the right-hand side, you would see that they fail the vertical line test. So then the last thing is a little ordered pair there. It says the person and their social security number. And so the reason that's a function is because every person only has one social security number. Unless you're a spy or something, which we're going to assume that none of us work for the CIA, then we only have one social security number. And the reason why September 20th and the person born that day is not a function is because lots of people can be born on September 20th. So now let's get some definitions. So a relation is a set of ordered pairs. And then a function is a type of relation. Where x's don't repeat. And vertical line test, we just talked about. It's a test to determine if a relation is a function. And one last thing we didn't talk about is a one-to-one. A one-to-one is a type of relation again. But the reason it's different than a function is because the x's and y's don't repeat. So it would have to pass a vertical line test and a horizontal line test. And so if I make a little diagram down here, I'm going to make a big circle. So that is all the relations. That's basically any graph that you can think of. It doesn't have to be very specific. Within those relations, there are functions. So those are where x's don't repeat, so a little more specific. And within all of those, there's the one-to-one function. So a one-to-one, if a graph is a one-to-one function, that means that it is also a function, which is also a relation. So it would be all three. All right, tomorrow you're going to be having to do the Google form, and so I am showing you a clip from one of my favorite movies, Hunger Games, and so you can answer tomorrow my question, what movie, and you will say Hunger Games.